Wow, this is weird to be in front of the camera after taking 2 weeks off. But anyway, let's see. Let's see if I still got it. Okay, hi guys, welcome back. My name is Fabio Palvelli and I just got back from holiday. So this video is going to be a little bit of a update video, if you like. Basically, as I said, I was on holiday. We went to Africa, my wife and I. We were joined by a couple of our friends and we had an amazing time. We went to Zanzibar. The goal was for me to do at least a week of nothing. I just wanted to lay on the beach and just soak in the sun, smell the wind, smell the sea. I didn't want to do anything. The last time that I took an holiday was in 2017. We went to Japan, my wife and I. It's been almost 2 years since then. And that wasn't even an holiday because we basically spent 2 weeks going around like madmen. I think we logged more than 30,000 steps per day, every day. Anyway, this holiday was a holiday done basically just, with the goal in mind to relax and to recharge our batteries because we're going to need it. Anyway, we went to Tanzania. We did a safari at the Serengeti National Park. Oh my God, what a beautiful place. Seriously, if you ever have the chance, go and do a safari because, I don't know, I cannot explain it. It was such a beautiful adventure. It was such a beautiful experience. And I don't know, there is this thing about Africa. In Italian we call it mal d'Africa. It means like to be Africa sick. That once you go there, you never want to leave. But anyway, this is a little channel update that I wanted to give you because you haven't heard anything from me for the past 2 weeks. Unless you were following me on Instagram, there I posted a couple of stories and I posted a couple of pictures. But the reality is that I was trying to stay away from social media as much as possible because, I don't know, social media has got into our lives so deep that sometimes it's a little bit like, it feels like overeating, or I don't know, it's something that after a while makes you feel sick. And I've tried to give myself the rule that after 7 in the evening there is no more social media at home, or that on Saturday and Sunday I try not to log into social media to look up my feeds. However, there were a couple of incidents that happened over the time that I was in Africa and people contacted me because they needed my help. These incidents were related to some things that are going on in the industry, things that make me profoundly sad because a lot of people just like me try to inject a lot of positivity inside the archivist industry, and yet there are some people that simply don't care and that are moved by one motive alone, which is, personal gain, and they do nothing for the community. And that kind of behavior is what makes the community a very fragile one. And having a fragile community, it's very dangerous because it doesn't help preserving the prestige of our profession. And I think that people still don't realize it. Very often people act selfishly, and we need to push for better change, and we need to try and be a better version of ourselves. And this point leads me to a little bit of a change that I'm trying to implement in my channel. Over the past 2 years, I've been talking a lot about how to make more money, how to deal with clients, how to negotiate with clients. And a lot of people have taken these teachings that I was sharing with them and they went on and used them for their own personal gain alone. And of course, those suggestions, those helps that I was putting out there were meant for people to use them in order to make more money and grow professionally. But I've seen a lot of people using this in a way that is not fair towards their own colleagues, their own employees, or towards their employers, even towards their own clients. I've seen people using this stuff in a way that is maybe unfair. I've seen things that I was hoping for people not to do, and it just showed me that this industry is still very immature. And a friend of mine said to me that The reason why he thinks is that it's because artists are mainly fueled by ego and a very high self-esteem. I did not want to believe in this, but I kind of start to agree with that. And I don't know, I mean, I feel like at the moment, if I can do something for the community, is to try and help people realize that the main goal and the main effort that artists need to do is to try and become better people all around. It almost feels like people are abandoning ethics in exchange for personal fulfillment alone, and I don't know how long this situation can last. Anyway, whilst we were in Africa, I brought with me a couple of books that I wanted to read. One is called The Brand Flip, which is a book by Martin Neumeier. He's an author that has been publishing other books, which I think I'm going to buy and read as well, because this Brand Flip is a very interesting book. I'll talk about this in a second. Another book, which was a present from a very good friend of mine, Nadia Monte. She gave me this book from Baba Bedi. Actually, the book is from Cristina Aprato, and it's a book about Baba Bedi. I don't think that this book is available in English, but I do know that there is a lot of work from Baba Bedi. Baba Bedi is an Indian philosopher that has dedicated most of his life to helping people finding their purpose and finding their path to happiness. The third book is Eat That Frog from Brian Tracy. This is a book that I've actually read already at the beginning of 2018. I was in Milan and I went to watch Ashthorpe presenting at the Digital Design Days. And he already mentioned this book. And I remember the first time that I used this book, there are tips inside that can really help you planning your day, so to achieve the things that you set out to achieve. And I've used this book with a lot of the things that I've done for my channel and for the D2 conference. Brian Tracy teaches how to program your life in this book. And it takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of dedication to spend those 10-15 minutes every day to plan your day so that you can actually get the action that you need in order to fulfill your tasks and become a lot more productive. Anyway, this is a book that I'm going to mention a lot more in the future, mainly because even though there are tips and tricks in here, the reality is that none of the content from this book works unless you as a person decide to take the responsibility to do what you have to do in order to achieve the goals that you set out to achieve. And so I think this is a very important book that I'm going to mention in the future. But anyway, okay, let's go back a little bit. This book from Baba Bedi, well, again, this book from Cristina Prato on Baba Bedi is a very interesting read. It's a little bit of an esoteric book, meaning that there are things that maybe, I personally did not take that serious because probably I'm too Western. It's about like esoteric medicine and how the body works and meditation and a lot of like things that maybe I'm not really ready to listen to and to comprehend. But there is an important thing that probably I should have shared with you a while ago already. For a couple of years now, I've been interested in Indian and, generically speaking, Oriental philosophy, if you like. I started to get interested in the work of Sadhguru, the work of Gaur Gopal Das, which is another Indian philosopher and a teacher. And then I came across the work of Baba Bedi. Baba Bedi, funny enough, is the father of Kabir Bedi. I think it's Kabir his name, which is the actor that impersonated Sandokan. And I think that I'm very fascinated with the work of Baba Bedi because Baba Bedi spent the last, I think, 30 years of his life in Italy. And he kind of like tried to fuse his personal knowledge and culture and spirituality together with more Western values, almost like offering a balance between the two. Anyway, I started to read a little bit more about his work, and I think it is very interesting because basically one of the things that he says is that in life you cannot really find happiness unless you find purpose. And actually, purpose is one of those things that I've been researching for the past 2 years. Because, we can talk about how to get more clients, we can talk about how to make better art, we can talk about how to be a better person. But if in life you don't find a purpose, that thing that drives you every day to do more and better, you will never have the right incentive to go on with your life and actually go after your dreams and after your goals. And this is why for the past 2 years I've been trying to really think about this idea of purpose, because actually we hear the word very often, but it's actually really difficult to formalize and to externalize what purpose really means. It's a little bit like love, or like the feeling of when you miss someone. You know that it's there and you know how it feels, but it's very difficult to describe. And anyway, this feeling might be different for every single person. So, this is one of the things that I wanted to share with you guys. The third book that I wanted to talk to you about very quickly is The Brand Flip. And I think this is a very important read because in my line of work, when I work as a consultant for architecture visualization studios and design studios, one of the things that I've realized is that a lot of people create companies just to focus on the work alone. And one of the things that designers really miss out on is to build companies in the same way that brands like, Apple or Nike or, I don't know, Fitbit or Xiaomi, I have no idea, I'm just pulling out names at this point, do. And so, a lot of companies are very good at doing what they do, but they don't have an edge over their competition because they don't really exist as a brand. And I think that the term brand has been thrown around quite a bit lately because, everybody wants to be a brand strategist and everybody wants to talk about how to brand your company to make more money and blah, blah, blah. The reality is that a brand, really what it is the reputation of a company. If you are a freelancer, a brand is your own reputation as a person. And so that's why I think it is important to understand more how brands work and how you can make yourself into a better brand, if you like. Of course, yourself or your company. And so, to recap, I am back from holiday. I'm very charged up. I think that I took a very nice break. Africa was an amazing experience. Like the hotel where we stayed in Zanzibar was amazing. We had a beautiful view over the Indian Ocean. The food was fantastic. It's kind of like this mixture between African food, Indian food, with a very strong influence from the West, I guess. Then the safari was amazing, looking at all the animals and all the wildlife and sleeping in a tent in the middle of the African bush. It was just an experience that allowed me to feel in a way that I never felt before. Anyway, I'm planning to make a vlog about the whole safari holiday. I don't know, maybe you're gonna be interested in it, maybe not. But sometimes I like to share a little bit of my life with you guys as well. So I think that I'm going to make this vlog as soon as I have a little bit of time, because at the moment I'm swamped with work. I have a couple of deadlines with the guys from Chaos Group. There are a few things that I have to do for the D2 conference. There are clients with which I'm consulting, which I have to contact, and we have to start discussing how to proceed in our strategy for next year. All the bills for the end of this quarter are due, so I have to call my accountant. Maybe I shouldn't have gone on holiday. Maybe I should have stayed here to work. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.